use the funds that we receive to build shallow wells. And to us, and certainly to the Eleanor Foundation, our core activity revolves around water, allied with sanitation and hygiene. The impact of a new shallow well on a community is quite remarkable, and we've been able to track this over the last few years that we've been doing this work. The first impact is an improvement in basic health. There's a reduction in waterborne disease such as diarrhoea, worms, dysentery, typhoid and so on. But it goes way beyond that, because it means that families are spending less money on buying medication to deal with those problems. It means that young people spend more time at school. It actually reduces under 5 deaths as well. And then with more time spent in education, the educational outcomes are better. So that's a very long burn, but that's the impact it has. It also means that families have more time and more money to spend on more productive activities. So the impact goes way beyond just the having clean water to drink. It provides opportunities.
The money raised is used to start village savings and loans groups in the DRC and also Uganda. We teach groups of up to 30 people how to save and loan their own money together. They use it to invest in their own income-generating activities, and the result is that they're able to boost their little businesses and boost their own income. So families are able to benefit, as mothers are able to pay for school fees, or buy a pair of shoes for their child, or buy a mosquito net for them to all sleep under.
Christian Aid uses the World Aid Walk money to really help people get out of poverty. We work in 60 different countries. We work with the poorest of the poor. We help them with sustainable projects, so it would be like housing and also sort of protecting the areas that they live in. These countries are quite often affected by climatic events like typhoons and floods, and so Christian Aid provides help to these people so that they can be protected during this time. So things like coastal barriers, more resilient homes.
So ActionAid has been in Guernsey since 1982. It's a support group of the ActionAid international charity. So ActionAid works in over 45 countries around the world, and it mainly focuses on supporting women and children as they are the most vulnerable. So it helps them to understand their rights and to support them through conflict, through disasters. We recently have supported 3 different initiatives that they have run. We have supported the rebuild of a school in Nepal, which we fundraised the entire build of that block, and we went out to Nepal to help with the build. We have supported the Not This Girl appeal, which supports vulnerable women and children in Kenya and helps them to understand that if they have been a victim of sexual violence or they might be at risk, it's understanding how they can achieve justice and to understand their rights in those situations. And most recently, we have supported the Indonesia disaster appeal following the tsunami. So we've fundraised for ActionAid to go out there and support the people in need, and they'll be running further initiatives in Indonesia to help the people still at risk.
So Tumaini works in Kagera in northwest Tanzania. It's on the shores of Lake Victoria, and of all the Tanzanian regions, malaria infection is highest in Kagera. Every 2 minutes that you're looking at this video, a child in the world dies of malaria. However, the good news is that if we can sleep a child under an impregnated bed net, which is a bed net that's got insecticide on it, UNICEF tells us that that child has 50% more chance of living to adulthood and not dying of malaria, 50%. Now, Tumaini can buy bed nets for £4 each if we buy them in bulk, and we sleep 2 to 3 children under a bed net. So, for less than the cost of a cappuccino in a cafe, we can give a child 50% more chance of living to adulthood. So that's how we use the funds from World Aid Walk.
On behalf of ActionAid, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who has supported the World Aid Walk over the past few years that we've been a part of it. It's been a massive help, a massive contribution towards the projects that we've been supporting, and really helps to make a difference to those people who really struggle.
ActionAid would like to say thank you very much to all the children that take part in the walk. It's so important, to all the parents that come along, and to everybody that sponsors. The more sponsorship you can get, the more things that we can do for poor people around the world.
We're incredibly grateful, along with all the other participating charities I know, for the commitment and the time and the effort that the people put in, raising money within schools and so on. It's a huge community project for Guernsey. It's really part of the calendar, and it is fundamental to the work that we do. So we're really hugely grateful.
So by taking part in the World Aid Walk, then you will directly help benefit 500 people, and with their families you'll actually be helping 2,500 people to overcome poverty and to just improve their lives. They'll be able to send their children to school and pay for medical expenses and just improve their livelihoods and their families' well-being. So from This Is Epic, we are very, very grateful for the money that is raised. Thank you so much for taking part in the World Aid Walk. And we love the fact that all the children take part and the parents as well. Thank you. Please continue supporting us and help this walk to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And in turn, you'll help to change many lives around the world. Thank you.
From the children in Tanzania, who tonight are sleeping under a bed net and who are going to live to be grown-ups because of the children in Guernsey who are doing the World Aid Walk, I just want to thank you so much, from them and from me, from the bottom of our hearts. You are making a difference. Thank you.